You're watching Local News 8 at 6. Local people, local news.
Good evening, everyone. The arrest for the murder of an Idaho Falls woman. She died 12 years ago. That arrest has been made. The Bonneville County Prosecutor's Office filed charges for the murder of Idaho Falls resident Stephanie Eldridge. This case, all the way back to 2007. She was discovered missing, and her body wasn't found until 2010. Local News 8 reporter Tristan Lewis joining us outside the police station right now to fill us all in. This is our top story tonight. Tristan?
That's right, Carol. Charges have been filed against 30-year-old Kenneth Ryan Jones. This arrest is something IFPD says has been a long time coming. Sergeant Jessica Marley was assigned this case back in August 2014. With the help from a crime TV show, Cold Justice, Marley and other investigators were able to get more interviews and grab more evidence. IFPD began the process of presenting the case to Bonneville County prosecuting attorney back in December 2018.
The defendant is currently incarcerated in the Idaho Department of Corrections custody, where the warrant will be served, and he will be transported to Idaho Falls to begin these proceedings that will take place over the next few weeks.
This isn't our only cold case. It's not our only high-profile case. We have other cases that we're going to continue to relentlessly work until we bring closure to them as well.
Now, Clark and Johnson say that because this case is still pending in court, many details cannot be released right now, but they said no findings or evidence presents anyone else involved in this murder. Reporting in Idaho Falls, I'm Tristan Lewis.
Okay, thank you very much, Tristan. Jones's bond has been set at $500,000. There's a lot more information about this cold case that now may be solved on our website, so check it out, localnews8.com.
I woke up at midnight and there was all these lights flashing in my bedroom window. So I looked out and there was a police car parked here all night and a police car parked up on McKinley all night. And I knew something was wrong.
In our other murder case, people living in one Pocatello neighborhood talking about how afraid they are after an 87-year-old woman was brutally murdered in her home just down the street. Two teenage boys, aged 17 and 18, have been arrested in California, and they have been charged with first-degree murder in the stabbing death of 87-year-old Arlene Kohler. She was killed at a house on McKinley Avenue in Pocatello. People living nearby are frightened. This is a brutal killing. We don't get these around our area. Local News 8's Linda Larson talked to one neighbor who came closer to the alleged killers than she ever knew.
It bothered me to think they parked in front of my house. I didn't like this.
When 92-year-old Evelyn Adams talked to police about what was happening in her neighborhood, what she found out was terrifying. They said her 87-year-old neighbor had been murdered and that they thought the suspects, two teenage boys, had parked their car in front of her house before walking around the corner and stabbing her neighbor.
It's really bothered me. It still did. I was so upset last night. I thought but they wore me out, so I didn't sleep all night. I've lived here I'm the original owner of here, 68 years. I've never had anything like this.
Police also think that at least one of the suspects was injured during the attack and that there was a trail of blood leading from the murder scene to Evelyn's front sidewalk.
They checked it all the way down, and they figured what he told me was the car was parked right here. And when he stopped to open the door, that's when he bled there.
If that blood is indeed from one of the suspects, it could contain valuable DNA evidence.
After he could talk to me, I came out and checked it, which you would. And the detective came and said, "Don't you touch that blood, because we're going to take a test from it."
Evelyn says that she will continue locking her doors like she always has, but she no longer feels safe in her neighborhood. She does feel better knowing the suspects have been caught. In Pocatello, I'm Linda Larson.
And again, the police are being so tight-lipped about this because it's an ongoing case. They are still investigating, but we will continue to check in, and you can stay updated on this story as it develops at localnews8.com. All right, let's check in with our chief meteorologist now, Michael. It's the weekend.
Yeah.
Got some good news?
Well, we got the spring storm with us here, and it's the first full weekend of spring, and we're pulling in scattered showers. The winds will start increasing here, and it's going to be cool and breezy here for your Saturday. Spotty sprinkles right now across the Snake River Plain, with most of the heavier showers right now focused into the southern highlands. I've also been seeing some snow into the mountains just west of Mackay and Arco there, and a little bit of some light moisture getting up towards the Tetons, but nothing major at this point. Live look in Pocatello at the Farm Bureau Skycam. You got raindrops on the lens. We're at 42 degrees at the Pocatello Airport. Winds out of the south at 8 miles an hour, with 41 for Idaho Falls, 50 for Chalice, 43 for Ketchum. At Jackson right now it's at 39 with 41 for West Yellowstone, Montana. Into the mid-30s across Soda Springs and Montpelier. Yeah, Bear Lake, they got about 2 to 3 inches of snow this morning there. Our weather spotter, Steve Coons, reported in. He got 3 inches of snow, and they're pretty sick of it right now. We're getting winds out of the south at 11 in Blackfoot, southwest at 9 in Idaho Falls, 11 for the wind speeds in Driggs, and the temperatures tonight will be dripping back into the lower 30s for Idaho Falls, mid-30s in Pocatello. And we have a little bit of moisture coming through for Saturday. It's looking to be Sunday right now with some heavier snow and rain showers marching through the region. I'll have more on that in your Vipercast in just a bit. Carol, over to you.
All right, thank you. So last week's warm weather has a lot of people excited because they are sensing spring. However, it has the forecasters and the emergency coordinators quite concerned over the potential that we'll have a lot of flooding. Local News 8 reporter Brady Halbleib more on what the flood outlook is for spring.
Mainly we're concerned about the area south of Pocatello.
Recent storm systems moving through the region is giving forecasters an idea where vulnerable flood zones are. Storm systems that bring warmer temperatures and rain melt snow at a faster rate. With record snowpack in some areas, flooding is a big concern.
Right now we haven't seen any flooding, but we do have a flood watch out, especially for areas south of Pocatello because there's a lot of snow locked up down there.
South Bannock County seems to be an area of focus.
There's a lot of snow down there. Pebble Creek Ski Resort reported a record snowfall for their year. Any rain on that snow, plus we've been dealing with 50-degree temperatures for the last week, so that's going to accelerate that snow melt as well.
As we move further into spring, snow is going to begin to melt. But where does all that water go?
Anything that melts in the mountains has got to go somewhere, and for us here locally it goes to Portneuf, which then goes into the Snake.
Though the rivers rise, it's not necessarily the kind of flooding that has Bryant Wolf, Emergency Services Coordinator, worried about.
But you usually see it further upstream towards Lake Lava and McCammon area where there's not a lot of water control there, so that's where it comes within the natural floodplain, where it may expand out a little bit and flood in those areas.
Down Marsh Creek Road, fields are covered with water, a kind of flooding that happens when the ground is still frozen from the winter. Water can't be absorbed and therefore gathers with each passing storm.
We are constantly monitoring this, and we are constantly being vigilant because we're here to serve them and we're here to make a positive impact for our community.
Though flooding is minimal today, preparation is key.
No, as of right now, things are pretty calm, and it's just Mother Nature's just doing her thing, and we haven't seen anything extraordinary out there yet.
In Pocatello, I'm Brady Halbleib.
Yet might be the key word there. To see where your home is on the flood map, you can go to our website at localnews8.com. In your traffic alert now, crews with the City of Pocatello Water Department are going to begin construction starting Monday. They will be installing a new water main line, fire hydrants, and water meter boxes along Fir Street. That work could cause short-term disruptions to water service, so those in and around the construction zone are advised to keep a supply of drinking water on hand. Crews will work between 7 a.m. to about 5 p.m. and the project is expected to take about 3 weeks, but the work schedule can always change if there are unforeseen circumstances like weather. Luther Way in Blackfoot will be closed on Monday and Tuesday. Intermountain Gas will be relocating the gas main on that road. They have informed all the affected businesses. In your legislative watch now, Governor Brad Little signed into law legislation requiring sexual assault and rape kits be tested with limited exceptions. The law improves the systems used by law enforcement, health officials, and Idaho State Police Forensic Services. State officials in recent years have acknowledged having a significant backlog of rape kits that had not been submitted by police departments. A rape kit is a collection of DNA evidence gathered after a sexual assault. The legislation passed the House 68-1 unanimously in the Senate. Legislation to help pay for Medicaid expansion in Idaho has been introduced in the House Health and Welfare Committee. They voted today to okay the legislation, but said it will advance no further this session. The committee's chairman said that an interim committee will be formed next week to study the issue, and that legislation will be a starting point for that committee. The House and Senate have two competing bills involving Medicaid expansion. The House version has the work requirements. The Senate version has a voluntary work component, and we don't have final answers on that yet. Legislation that would make it harder to get an initiative on the Idaho ballot is headed to the House now. That bill would require those seeking ballot initiatives like Medicaid expansion to get the signatures from 10% of the voters in 32 of Idaho's 35 districts. Now that compares to today's rules that require signatures from only 6% of voters in 18 districts. The new bill would also cut the time allowed to gather the signatures from 18 months to 6 months. The bill narrowly passed the Senate by 1 vote today. A World War II soldier killed 74 years ago finally laid to rest. We'll show you the emotional send-off when we come back. Around the region, they waited, they wondered for 74 years, but finally, family and loved ones held a funeral for their hero. They came together yesterday at the Utah Veterans Memorial Cemetery to say goodbye to an Army airman who finally made it home.
Second Lieutenant Lynn Wilson Hadfield, U.S. Army Air Force, died March 21st, 1945, when the A-26B attack plane he piloted was shot down near Dülmen, Germany, on a mission to disrupt German troop movements in preparation for the Allied crossing of the Rhine River, which took place 3 days later.
A funeral for a fallen fighting man, nearly 3/4 of a century late.
Grandfather, you're home now.
Bagpipes blared. 7 Utah Army National Guard riflemen fired 3 shots each. 4 Army Guard helicopters flew over. The Color Guard performed the flag ceremony over their fallen brother's casket. Full military honors today for Lieutenant Hadfield and for the family he left behind in Utah when he died, including a 2-year-old girl named Mary Ann. Today, at the age of 76, Mary Ann was granted her childhood wish to say goodbye to her dad. She did it by reciting poetry.
Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. Welcome home, Dad.
Generations who followed the lieutenant expressed their gratitude for their chance to say goodbye.
This is about as close to miracles as you get for us. I've always thought that there was some chance of bringing him home, but you know, the promise you make when you're a teenager is one thing, reality is another.
2 other airmen were killed when that plane went down that day. Sergeant Vernon Hamilton of Pennsylvania, Sergeant John Klischt of Charleston, West Virginia. Good story. All right, let's take a look at the Pocatello Sky Cam. Michael Coates next with your full weekend forecast. We'll be right back.
Now, your first alert weather.
Spring storms are with us here. Scattered showers coming through right now under mainly cloudy conditions in the Snake River Plain and lower 40s at the Idaho Falls Airport. Not everybody's seeing the rain today, but we are slowly trickling in that moisture from the south as we get rolling into your Saturday and Sunday. In fact, things are looking still pretty dry across western Wyoming and also in around places like Salmon. Chalice has seen a little bit of moisture come through, but most of it's been hitting the Snake River Plain, the mountains to the west and to the southwest of Arco and Mackay there, and then also in around Pocatello, Blackfoot, Idaho Falls, some passing storm clouds all day long. We are going to continue to see the threat for rain in the forecast here for tonight as this area of low pressure swings through Colorado. We get the counterclockwise rotation off that low, so our showers are coming in from the east, and then there's another shot of wet weather lined up for Sunday, and then we have more wet weather waiting in the wings for late into next week, beginning into Wednesday and Thursday. We'll get to that in just a bit. For tonight, though, a smattering of storms on the Vipercast, nothing too intense. Little hits of rain and snow out there, and we'll start picking up on some snow tomorrow morning out through Jackson, far eastern Bonneville County, through the Palisades, and even through the Star Valley. Could even see just a little bit of some snow tomorrow morning around Soda and Bear Lake County. As we get rolling into Saturday afternoon, I don't see much rain tomorrow for the valley. Okay, we're talking mostly cloudy conditions. conditions, I'm only going to stick a 20% chance of showers for the Snake River Plain because our next round of good hit of rain and snowy weather is arriving Saturday night through Sunday. So this is Saturday night at 10 o'clock. And this is the wet weather starting to come in out of the west, and it will start to get into the Snake River Plain as we head into Sunday morning. Rain-snow mixes to get our day started on Sunday with some snow in the higher country, especially around 5,000 feet and above. And then we'll see scattered snow and rain showers continuing throughout your Sunday afternoon as this band makes its way up towards Montana. We're still into the flood watch, no change there. Lowland field flooding, especially for farmers' fields around the Snake River Plain. And we'll be looking for that flooding threat probably to continue into next week as well. 45 for the high in Lava Hot Springs, 46 in Preston, and 40 for Montpelier with 40. After a low freezing tonight at 32. Call 39 in Ashton with 40 at Old Faithful, 43 for the high in Jackson. 30 in Mackay tonight with a high of 39 for tomorrow. 43 in Stanley with 50 in Chalice and 53 in Salmon. And we'll hit a high of 47 in Idaho Falls, 52 in Pocatello, 52 in Burley. So check out your 8-day forecast. You'll notice the temperatures here staying consistent through the weekend. Not a big change. Upper 40s, it's going to be cool, and the winds begin to really ramp up into Sunday and Monday. So it's going to be a windy close to the weekend as that band of rain and snow works through. We're going to see some sunny conditions. It's going to be windy on Monday with a high of 59. And then there's a second front heading in here for Wednesday and Thursday, which will drop our temperatures a little bit into Thursday. And I'm looking at some gusty winds with scattered showers to get us into the middle to the later part of next week there. Pocatello, highs around 50 for Sunday, 60 for Monday, and the mid-50s for Tuesday and Wednesday. Scattered showers to get us into Friday with a little bit of some warming temperatures trying to work through by next weekend. Blackfoot, 50 degrees for Sunday, 60 on Monday with 56 for Tuesday, and some spotty showers Wednesday and Thursday along with the gusty winds in there for Wednesday and Thursday. Over to Rexburg with highs around 46 and 47 for the next couple of afternoons. Yeah, it's going to be gloomy outside with some scattered showers here. We'll look for hits of rain and snow in the forecast, and we'll work in some scattered showers Wednesday and Thursday. Up to central Idaho for Salmon and Chalice, highs will be into the lower 50s on Saturday, the upper 40s on Sunday, with some spotty snow and rain showers Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Jackson, you got more snow heading in your direction. You haven't seen much today, but more's coming in here for the weekend for Saturday and Sunday. Mostly cloudy conditions and temperatures in the upper 30s on Sunday. Carol.
All right, thank you. Calling all artists, the Museum of Idaho is looking for local original artwork for its expanded regional exhibit, Way Out West. Specifically, it is seeking proposals for original art inspired by regional ancient native art, pictographs, and the local landscape, including flora and fauna. A maximum of $1,000 will be given to the artist that gets chosen, and this opportunity is open to any Idahoan. But there will be a preference given to those enrolled in any federally recognized tribe in Idaho.
Anyone is eligible. This is a really wonderful opportunity for amateur artists and professional artists.
The only open projects we've done before are like naming the mammoth, which this art will be in front of, and doing some other fun things like that, but not actually commissioning a piece that has a cash award.
So the proposal deadline is April 15th at 5 p.m. and to see how you can apply, go to our website. Utah State hoping to make some noise in the NCAA tournament this year. We'll have an update on how they are doing next on Sportsline.
And now, Sportsline.
So how's your bracket? We are halfway through day 2 of the NCAA tournament. 8-seed Utah State is taking on 9-seed Washington in this very moment. Now heading into the game, the Aggies were pretty confident in what they thought they could do in this tournament.
Expectations preseason from those around us weren't very high, but as a team we felt that we could really do some damage, and we've obviously grown and grown and grown throughout the season, but this is obviously hopefully not a once in a lifetime opportunity for some of us, but it's something that you have to enjoy.
We just have this youthful exuberance, right, that we're going to conquer the world and nobody's going to tell us any different. And so just the chemistry we've had, the camaraderie, and a common goal has been incredible.
As we mentioned, Aggies facing Washington as we speak, and right now Utah State trails the Huskies 51-44 with just over 11 minutes left in the game. Neemias Queta is leading the way for the Aggies with 11 points. The winner of this game likely to get North Carolina in the next round. That's assuming the Tar Heels get past 16-seed Iona later tonight. Here are a couple of notable upsets from earlier today. 13-seed UC Irvine became the lowest seed to win so far when the Anteaters beat 4-seed Kansas State. 12-seed Oregon upset 5-seed Wisconsin. The Ducks are in the same part of the bracket as UC Irvine, so those two will actually face each other in the second round. Another double-digit seed picked up a win this afternoon when 10-seed Iowa knocked off 7-seed Cincinnati. 28 of the 30 teams in Major League Baseball are still 6 days away from playing their first regular season game of 2019, yet we may have already seen one of the most iconic moments of the year. After the Mariners played a special 2-game series with Oakland in Tokyo to open their seasons, Seattle's Ichiro had the chance to retire from baseball in his home country, a legend in both Japan and here in America. Mariners fans spoke about what Ichiro meant to them.
Probably the best player they had. Just that stance, that's just so iconic. Seeing him tear down the first baseline with all those infield singles, that was really cool, you know. He contributed to the game of baseball, like, you know, both here and internationally. I'm excited when they hang the 51. You know, that's going to be cool.
I moved here in 2002, got to see his whole career, and it's such a great day of celebration for him, really.
Oh, he's great. He's great for the city.
He gave his entire life to baseball, like obsessively so. That's what made him so great. He was so fun to watch.
That's going to do it for Sportsline. A look at the weather when we come back.
It's not easy to find something fun when you're talking about epic floods, but these two Nebraska men found a refrigerator packed with ice-cold beer after the flood. They were cleaning up near the Platte River when they spotted this fridge, so they trekked through waist-deep water, ice jams, and washouts to get to it. The two men touched base with the owner of the fridge and promised they would return it to him, minus a few beers, once the roads are all clear.
It's like they go in a garage fridge or, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Floated away and they went for it. Okay, we're back tonight at 10. Lots of news for you. Good night.